Hello everybody and welcome back to Louisiana Homestead. Today I'm going to be doing some deer neck chops and I'm going to be using one of my best friends in the kitchen, my black pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that grease heated up. I got some nice vegetable oil in the bottom of this pot. Here's my deer neck chops. I'm going to start out by browning those in that big black pot. And I just want to put enough of these down in here to cover the bottom. I don't want to layer them. Okay, so that'll be my first layer there. Get those browned up in both sides, and I'll continue to do that with all of them that I have. I'm going to put my lid kind of halfway on there and leave a little air space like this so that the moisture can escape, but they can still brown and I won't have grease splattering all over the kitchen. And while that's browning, I'm going to chop up some onions and peppers and garlic. Have you ever been peeling an onion and it makes you cry? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can take that onion, put it under running water and continue to peel it there, and the fume should stop. That's what I do when it happens to me, and it works pretty good. Another little tip for cutting onions is once you get them cut to this stage, you can just turn them and cut them this way. You'll get them cut in kind of diced, a diced like result. See that? I'm going to brown about 2 onions and 2 bell peppers, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt on them to help them to saute. I'm going to brown a little bit of our smoked sausage to add to that gravy so it'll have a little smoke flavor, and I'm also going to use some of the smoked sausage and some green beans that I'm going to be doing. Here's the green beans I'm going to be using. That's some yard longs that we had grew last year, and I just cut them and froze them like that. So I'm going to use these today, and I'm going to use these onions I cut up. I got the sausage browned as much as I want it brown, so I'm going to get it out of here, and then I'm going to get those onions in here and let those cook a little bit before I add the green beans on top of them. I'm just putting that sausage on top of those frozen beans for now. That'll be fine. And then get these onions down into the bottom of this pan so they can start cooking a little bit before I put the rest of my stuff back into the skillet. So let me turn that back on. There we go. And let's check on our onions over here. Okay, they're doing good too. I probably won't let them cook much more than that, but I will go on ahead and add the garlic in at this point. And I just did several cloves of garlic. I like a lot of garlic. It looks like it could use a little more oil in here. My father-in-law always said a good cook don't spare the oil. So I'll put some more in there. Okay, let that cook down a little bit, and then I'm going to add some water into it just to get anything that might be sticking on the bottom at this point. Ooh, it smells good. I love the way garlic smells when you add it into your pot at this point. It smells so good. I'm going to add a little salt onto these onions as well while they browning. Alright, I think this is about to where I want it. I'm satisfied with the way that looks. I'm going to add some water in there at this point. Okay, that looks good. And while there's nothing in the pot, you know, no meat, I'm gonna go on ahead to take this time to make sure nothing is sticking down there. I feel a little bit of stuff sticking. I just want to get any of that off of there, because once I put that meat in there, I'll have a lot harder time stirring or feeling what's on the bottom of the pot. Okay, that's good. Let me see, make sure. I think I feel something right here. Let me get that off, because I don't want anything to burn, because I'm going to be putting this in the oven. I'm about to turn my oven on to bake at 350. And at this point, I'm going to add some seasoning into this. I'm going to add some soy sauce. That's probably about a tablespoon. And I'm going to do the same thing with some Worcestershire sauce. All that has salt in it, so I'm not going to be adding any more salt. I'm going to add some black pepper. And my favorite is the McCormick. And I'm going to use some Zatarain's red pepper. I love theirs. But I'm not going to put too much, because the baby might be eating some of that. And I'm also going to add some onion powder. And of course some garlic powder. This is the seasonings that I cook with all the time. And this is something else that I cook with all the time. Is this better than bouillon roasted beef base? I like to add that when I cook deer gravy or anything beef. It just adds a really good flavor to it. Okay, so now that we have all this stuff in here, I want to put the sausage in there that I want. I'm not going to take all of it. I just want some of it to add a little bit of smoked flavor. And I'm going to leave the rest of it for my green beans. My neck chops. It's going to make a full pot, I guarantee. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this. I'm going to put it in the oven. And I may check it before the 2-hour mark, just to get these down into that gravy. Kind of rotate them, you know, so that they don't get dried out up here. I got my onions browned up like I want them. And now I can add my green beans and my sausage in there and let it cook down on low. Okay, so y'all can see I got my pot in the oven there. And like I said, I'll check it in an hour or two and just rotate those chops from the top to the bottom. These I'm going to cover up and put them on low. Okay, these are done. I'll cover them up and put them on the side. Here's some potatoes that Mr. E cleaned up and peeled for us, and he's going to make a dish with those of his own. Alright, y'all, everything's cooked. That's the gravy. It took about 3 hours to get tender. There's the potatoes Mr. E did, some smothered potatoes. There's my green beans and sausage. Of course, we have to have rice with that. So I'm just going to show y'all Mr. E fixing his plate.
Stir it up a little bit to get all that seasoning there. You put smoked sausage in there?
Yeah, I put a little bit of smoked sausage in it and in the green beans.
Where you got that smoked sausage?
That's some of ours that we had made.
This is one of Joshua's favorite deer gravies, he said.
The neck chops.
Yeah.
It is good. It's a very good piece of meat that I'm afraid a lot of people may waste. And there's his sweet potatoes he did, and they got all kind of good spices in it. They're so good. They smell delicious.
A lot of butter, and a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of brown sugar, a hint of cloves.
They are very good.
I even put a little bit of steamed syrup, but I put just barely a little bit of all that. They're not really that sweet.
I know, and you had made some like that for Thanksgiving. They was so good. Okay, so let me get a close-up on that plate. Mmm. All right. Okay, guys, that finishes it up for us.
So I say bon. That's what the French people say.
We go and eat, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye now.